Hey everyone, Delphi Trading here with our weekly market report that we put out every week for you guys here on YouTube. So please like, subscribe to the channel. We continue to just do amazing stuff here. Over a year now since we launched the YouTube, our X channels are just crushing it. So before I get to the charts, like the headline says, all eyes are on COMEX right now. I am not a big commodities trader just because it's so news driven. I'm more of a technical trader, but there's no ignoring what's going on now with COMEX and silver. This is as of last week, okay? And what we're seeing here is the registered available for futures delivery is sitting roughly at 100 million ounces. Okay, what does that mean? Well, next week, the delivery notices come due from those holding the silver futures who want actual physical delivery. Okay, so we don't know what that's going to be, but I could tell you if it's anywhere close to this number, things are going to start to get really dicey, folks, and we do not know what COMEX is going to do. Now, there is eligible, okay, meaning that these ounces of silver are not yet registered, okay? So, these could be institutions holding the silver, but I can guarantee you that as silver is going to go higher, these eligible are going to become registered. So that will add more silver, but as of now, as of last week, we really need to keep an eye on this because, again, if the physical delivery number comes anywhere close to this, and who knows, it could be even higher, you're going to see something we've never seen before in not only silver, gold, but all the markets. Okay, we don't know what COMEX would do. Highly unlikely they would default. They would probably just, go the force majeure route, which gives them the legal opportunity or right not to deliver the physical silver if they don't have it. But even if they do that, look out because that's going to cause huge, huge ripples. We could see massive gains in silver and gold. I don't know what the indexes will do. But anyway, you want to keep an eye on this because, again, the delivery report comes due next week. So just keep an eye on that and what's going on in COMEX and silver, okay? So speaking of silver, here's the chart on TradingView, then I'll get to Thinkorswim. There could be some support here in the mid to low 60s. So we'll need to see if we get a bounce. Again, any kind of news-driven bounce, you could throw out the chart and technicals, okay? But you can see the averages now are crossing. So any technical bounce could find resistance up there. Now, again, if we have news, there's a gap up here, way up here, all bets are off on the charts, okay? And one thing we looked at now, what's been going on, interestingly enough, we talked about this with our members over the weekend and the holiday yesterday, is that the rates, this is the 10-year, okay, this is what everyone really follows and goes off of, have completely crashed. Okay, they've gone from over 4.3, down to almost 4.01, and it's back in this wedge now. And what's interesting is you would think if we saw rates crash like this, you would think the indexes in the markets would be screaming higher, but they're not. Okay, so that is very troublesome and a big red flag because what happens if rates bounce now? They're already starting to bounce here. We talked about this morning with our members. Wouldn't be surprised if we saw a bounce off the bottom of this wedge. And, this selling could be over. So if the rates start to go up and indexes could not bounce when rates crashed, not sure what that means or what that's going to do for the indexes, but keep an eye on the rates, okay, folks? All right, so going to Thinkorswim, excuse me. Here we are with the SPY. Again, all our targets from last week have hit. You can see the target there. We are just crushing targets left and right. So that target has hit on the SPY. So what are we seeing now? Well, the volume's going down on this move lower down to here. There really isn't, substantial support. There could be support here, which is why we seem to be bouncing. Okay, I mean, the real support is much lower, but short term, I mean, the CCI is now pivoting up. Stochastic has a bullish divergence. We would not be surprised if we get a little bit of an oversold bounce higher, but any bounce now could be rejected by the moving averages. That 20-day just crossed the 50-day. The resistance on the moving averages hasn't really played out. We can see that, the indexes have just been ignoring that, but eventually they're not. Okay, so my forecast here is going to go right back up towards the indexes. Okay, right about there. And we will have to see. Actually, let me move this a little bit here closer to where we closed. I'm going to go back to kind of this high here. But again, we'll have to see, okay, if we get rejected up here, okay. Qs, again, this looks the worst out of the group. And again, you can see our target from last week is hit. And a very slight volume drop and a hinge, not a pivot. Okay, stochastic is at oversold. And we are at this kind of red dotted line support, which you can see goes back to here and in this general area. So again, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a little bit of an oversold bounce on the Qs. I'm not even going to go up to the averages. I'm just going to go to this high here, okay? Because you can see now what I was talking about on the SPY is starting to play out on the Qs, okay? We didn't just explode through the moving average, okay? You can see that. We didn't just explode through like in the past. Now we have reversed, okay? So we'll need to see if that continues, because as the averages go lower, the Qs will continue to just keep bumping its head there, and it will drive the Qs down, okay? So that's the Qs. IWM, again, our forecast from last week has hit right there. And we are now stuck between the 50-day and the 20-day moving average. Volume is going down. CCI kind of going up to sideways. We have a stochastic cross there. That is not bullish at all. So, I'm going to go lower here. Now, this index has not followed the other indexes yet. I say yet because I think eventually this is going to break down. And I do think this gap will fill. I think the support will get tested down here, which is about, that's a good almost 20 points lower. So until we see a violation here, like here, again, this is another close like this, we're going to be adding some puts on the IWM. But anyway, for now, short term, I'm going to go lower to play this kind of in between the averages here. Okay, so that's what I'm doing on the IWM. And before I let you guys go, again, please get on X, follow us on X. Here is the handle, Delphi_trades. We post amazing stuff here. We could see we posted our weekly recap from last week, going 17-3. Delphi signal was 5-0 last week, and then we've got our top trades here. And we're also posting option flows there, UOA. We're posting trades off the Delphi signal. So please, again, follow us here at Delphi_trades. Okay, that's it from us. Please, again, like, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Tell people we're here. We're here to help everybody trading. And wish you all good luck trading this week. And we will see you back next week. And watch out for COMEX and silver. Take care.